Hi friends, welcome back to At Home with Holly. My name's Holly and I'm so glad that you're here with me. So this video is going to be a little different. I have a cold, allergies, I don't know, just haven't been feeling really great. My sinuses the last week or so, so I've been taking it easy, but I have been videoing what I've been doing to kind of keep things going because we are in that season where it's still kind of cold at night. The brassicas that we planted out together, I've got some frost fabric on the top of them. I don't know that they really needed it, but I'm just kind of giving them that extra little cushion. We've got plants that we've been hardening off. We've got plants that we've fertilized. I've got a new garden bed that I built. And so I'm just going to kind of take you guys with me through the footage that we've had the last couple days of building the bed. I planted some new plants, and so I did a new tomato, some more shallots, tons of flowers. We did tons of nasturtiums and bachelor buttons. So I want to take you guys with me while we planted those. And then I'm going to also show you the garden bed that I built and where I placed it. And then today we're just going to get into, like I said, some transplanting some peas and things outside, direct seeding some as well, and just some other garden cleanup. I also need to pick up an Azure standard order tonight, so I'll take you guys along with me for that too. So it's just going to be a recap of what I've done in the little pockets of time in between real life and nursing myself back to health. So I'm going to take you guys with me. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's get started and see what we can get into. Okay, guys, so we are winding down on these seed planting days. We have this day that we planted twice actually in this day. And then we have just one more round actually coming up in about a week or so. We have like maybe 2 weeks. We have one more round of the 3 weeks before the last frost date. We're going to be doing some flowers and melons and cucumbers and stuff. So I do mix up my Pro Mix, get it moistened, add in the Trifecta Plus, and then I take a minute to get all of my tags labeled and organized so that we can just get straight to planting and enjoy the process. All right, my friends, let me take you through some of the varieties we're going to be planting today. So the first one is the tomato, based off your recommendation, the Thornburns Terracotta. So I'm excited to try this one. Fingers crossed it is my new favorite. That's what I'm looking for, is my new favorite type of tomato. This one is Celosia Pampas Plume. I'm not sure how you say it. This one is absolutely stunning. It's going to be great for cut flower. Then the next one is, we've already sown a lot of this several weeks ago, but it didn't germinate well because it did germinate well and then it died because I let it dry out. So we're going to be doing more Zabroon shallots. We're going to do some nasturtiums. So we have our Tip Top Rose. We have our Purple Emperor. Look at how beautiful that one is. We have our Cherry Rose Jewel. Oh my gosh. Peach Melba. Let's see, Tip Top Pink Blush, beautiful. Then we have some Bachelor's buttons. We have Classic Magic. And then, we have Classic Fantastic. Let's see, more Bachelor's buttons. We have the Tall Mixed Blend. And we have some black Bachelor buttons, which I thought were just so cool looking. Then we have Love in a Mist Mulberry Rose. I've never grown this before. I don't know that I've seen in real life, so I'm excited about that. And then we have the three last ones. These are all going in Olivia's flower portion of her bed. She wanted to do a whole bunch of flowers in her bed, so we've got some Apricot Status. We actually did this in our winter sowing as well. We've got our Shadoud. I'm not Harriet Serpent, I think, but Orange Sherbet Carnation. And then some Evening Primrose as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get these planted and then watered in. And I'm excited to have another tray. And we've got 3 trays outside being hardened off. We've got a couple cool nights, so I'm going to bring them in at night and leave them out during the day. But today was a perfect day for hardening stuff off because it was overcast and raining on and off. And so they've been out there. So with the shallots and onions, I just scatter them across the top pretty heavily. So we've got about 20, let me bring you down. Got about 20 seeds in each of these. I'm just gonna press them down so that they make contact, good contact with the soil. Make sure you don't take them from pot to pot. Okay, so that was the shallots. Our tomato. Super excited about these. So this day was a really fun day. I was able to plant seeds this afternoon with you guys, and I also planted some seeds this morning. I'll take you back with me when we did that. But this was day one of me catching the spring crud that's been going around. And so I was able to get these seeds planted on this day, and we did do a few extra projects this week, but this has definitely been one of these weeks that we just kind of fit stuff in whenever we can, in and around working and taking kids to sports practices and birthday parties and that kind of stuff. And then also doing that stuff. So we didn't get as much stuff done this week as we wanted to, but I'm going to take you with me through all the little pockets of gardening fun that we're able to do. So we got these seeds planted, and then we also did another round of planting this morning. So I'm going to take you guys with me while we do that as well. Okay, so this was my morning planting session. So I came down this morning and I had about half of a tray that was sitting on a heating mat. And I was like, okay, let's get some things planted in here so that we're not wasting space. And so this morning I decided to start some marigolds. So we have the white marigolds, we have sparkling marigolds, sparkling marigolds. And we also have what we call Mrs. Lloyd's marigolds. And these are the seeds that Olivia saved from her first grade teacher, in class, how they plant marigolds when they're kids. She saved the seeds from these. And so we're replanting these because she really liked them. And Mrs. Lloyd was is a special teacher. So we love teachers around here. So we planted the white Kilimanjaro marigolds. We planted the orange and yellow Cracker Jack marigolds. We planted Mrs. Lloyd's marigolds, which are like the French marigolds. And then we're actually going to plant some sweet peas as well this morning. And sweet peas are different than your sugar snap peas or your snow peas or your shelling peas. These are not to be eaten. These are flowers, and you definitely don't want to eat them. They're toxic, but they're beautiful. And so we're going to plant our sweet peas, and we're actually going to have these going along our fence row on the back of the property. It's going to climb the fence, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So this morning we got marigolds, sweet peas, all planted up and ready to go to add to our collection of flowers. We're definitely planting heavily on the flowers this year because you can't just plant food. You have to plant things that attract the pollinators as well to get those huge harvests of food. So here we go. Someone has figured out that that's a heat mat.
You sleepy? So sleepy, huh?
It's almost time. Almost tater time. Okay, so this next day, this was the next day or maybe a couple days later, I'm not really sure, but I needed to set up the an extra garden bed in our berry garden area. And so I had this one sitting in the box for several months in the garage, and it was a rainy, gross day outside. So I spread out a blanket on the living room floor and went ahead and just put this together. I've done so many of these garden beds at this point that it probably takes me about 15-20 minutes to put them together, but I went ahead and this was a 6x3, and so I put it together in the living room floor, and then they're pretty light until you fill them with soil. And so I went ahead and got it set up and carried it outside and placed it where it needs to go. Later on in the next few days, I do need to fill it, but for today, at least we got it built. So I ordered a little bit of backup because not everything germinated. Well, they germinated, but I killed a few. So I wanted to make sure we had extra. So I ordered 2 bunches of the Patterson onions that we started together and 2 bunches of the Red Wing onions that we started together. And they just arrived and we are going to plant them out. Right now it's snowing. And we're going to plant them out in about a week or so. So we're going to add these to the other ones we have. But since we're not going to plant them in the next few days, I'm going to get them spread out to stay dry in a nice cool place. So we're going to get these spread out. All right, guys, here is the Azure standard order that I just picked up. A small little restock. Well, this part isn't small. This is my butter that I get. I do the Romano. This is the grass-fed butter, organic, and it's delicious. And it's really hard because it's never in stock. So it normally has a red wrapper on it though, so I don't know if they rebranded it or if I bought the different whatever, but it's delicious. Everything from this company is good, so I'm excited to have that. So I get a year's worth. Well, I don't know if it's a year's worth, but it's at least 6-7 months worth of butter, and at a better price than I can get at the grocery store. This one is something I haven't ever bought before. I usually buy the 5-pound blocks of their cheddar and shred it, and it's a pretty good price for their organic cheddar. I usually get it from the same company that does the butter, but this cheddar was on sale, so instead of getting the 5-pound all in one brick, I got this, and I figured this would just be easier to keep in the fridge, but it was on sale, so I figured I'd give it a try, but I haven't tried this one before. But anyway, I got 12 of those, so that should keep us in cheese for a while. I still have a couple bags of the shredded cheddar, but then I have about 4 or 5 bags of the shredded Monterey Jack that we did together last time I got a 5-pound block. And then the last 2 things that I got on my Azure standard order is some dried ramen noodles to be able to make some quick dinners or lunches for myself. And then they had some string cheese on sale too. So I got some string cheese for Olivia and myself to snack on. So cheese, ramen noodles, and butter. That was a very quick Azure Standard order. For those of you guys that are not familiar with Azure Standard, it's a bulk buying, kind of like Sam's Club or Costco, but for organic or natural non-GMO food. And so it's like a wholesaler club, and it comes on a box truck, and you unload it from the back of the truck, and it comes once a month. And yeah, I'll put a link in the description if you want more information on that. So anyway, this is our Azure Standard order. So I'm going to get the butter in the freezer and the cheese in the fridge and get back to our projects. It is starting to rain, but we're going to do this very quickly. So we are inside right next to where we planted our brassicas, which are covered with a little bit of frost fabric, even though they don't need it. And we're going to plant some peas here. I have some already that I pre-sprouted, and then I'm going to also throw some just in the ground. So we're going to get that started. All right, it is starting to rain on us. Let's go feed the chickens some treats. All right, so we've got some leftover pesto pasta and the crusts from Olivia's sandwiches for lunch, and happy chickens. Sorry if you can hear the rain hitting the roof. We are nice and dry in here. I just want to say thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I know this video was kind of all over the place, a compilation of a few days of work, but that's kind of how it goes when that's real life for all of us, right? We have stuff that comes up, we still got to get stuff done, and we squeeze stuff in when we can. So I'm excited. This weekend we are going to finish filling up that bed and get ready to transplant out some of the rest. We have one more tray of brassica that's been sitting in the tray for a week longer than it should have because I just hadn't been feeling well. So we're going to get to all of that. We're going to get to just more spring outside stuff. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate all the likes and the comments and the shares. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. We have a ton more planting and growing and building and some fun projects to do this spring and the rest of the year too. So can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye, my friends.